Good morning and welcome to the Newsburst Live special unboxing of Scrap Iron. Yes, I will be can't even fit everything in here, can I? I will be busting this beauty out today. Thank you to the good folks at In Demand Toys, Nick, Mass, and the team for sending me this beauty. So we'll be getting stuck into this today. How are you doing? I fell asleep so early last night. I had such a crazy day. By the way, if anyone wants to know, Phoebe got through her surgery great, and she is recovering very happily at home, snuggled with her mom as we speak. So yeah, Phoebe is doing well. She had her surgery and she's great. So that's our little mini schnauzer for those who don't know. Just wanted to let anyone know because I did mention that yesterday. And then wouldn't have updated anyone. Anyway, went to sleep really early yesterday, so completely missed that they hit 13,000, they unlocked ripcord, etc., etc. And that means that we're going to get a new reveal of the next tier for the Dragonfly later this morning. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that, but I will be going live anyway when that news kind of breaks after this obviously is done, to react and go through that information and all that stuff, right? Yeah, hilarious, Alex. Yeah, Alex just mentioned in the comments, you are not allowed to sleep. That's what it feels like this month, Alex. But in actual fact, yeah, I just crashed hardcore last night at about we had dinner and then I was just like, I'm gonna lay down and just have a break for 5 minutes. Oh, it's 5 a.m. That was crazy. So yeah. So anyway, thanks to everyone for jumping in the comment. I can't believe there are so many of you already. It's 8 in the AM on Thursday morning. Congratulations to those who are watching. To Nick Thomas, to Shark Eyes, to Michael Jean Fleming, to Death Valley Machine, Jeffrey Wise, Will R, Tim Wan, Alex King, 77T John, Joe Barrett. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me. And yeah, and let's get into this unboxing because this is what I'm here for. Scrap Aaron, as I like to call my good friend Aaron Dietrich. Scrap Iron with the anti-armor drone, or anti, again, depending on what area of the world that you're from. And hello, Patrick Benjamin. Morning from Delaware. Interesting. 5 a.m. in Oregon, Joe. My goodness. 6 a.m. where 77T John is. You guys are hardcore. I love it. Anyway, let's bust this bad boy open, shall we? Yeah, but first, a slight transition. Yeah, there you go. Cool. Right, so let's do it. First off, we have this beautiful box with loads of cool homage in the figure render zone. I call this the figure render zone. This is the front right lower artwork zone, and this is the loadout zone on the front of the box. What a mess of words. But anyway, on the figure render, you can see lots of interesting, cool stuff here. First off, you got Scrap Iron and his anti-armor drone, or anti-armor drone, looking awesome. There's loads of stuff in the background, and this is all very, very related to the Arise Serpentor Arise 5-part, or the first episode mainly, because as you can see, there is the school bus in the background and also the HQ. So basically we're getting a classified HQ, a classified school bus to put all your bats in, or stuns. It was stuns, wasn't it? And Sky Strikers flying past. Look at that. Cool, huh? So lots of cool stuff in the background on the homage here. I'm just going to give it a proper look, not through the screen, just to see if there's anything else that I've missed. But no, that looks effectively like the back of the HQ possibly as well. Possibly. I don't know. It's hard to tell. But that's a cool little HQ kind of vibe with the Sky Strikers and the school bus. And of course, the school bus did have, like I said, it had stuns in it, didn't it? So they all folded down and the stuns rolled out of them. But obviously coming out of this bus is an anti-armor drone. Cool. Okay, so that's the front of the box. We've got some gorgeous artwork. Now, I know this wasn't Oliver Barrett. I'm not sure who did the artwork for this, but it's very good. And it's also in keeping with that style that Oliver was doing for the other figures. So that's really cool and interesting as well. It'd be nice to know who that is, but it's really nice. It's some really beautiful painterly detail there in the face through the visor and everything. Gorgeous stuff. Cool reflections and everything. So that's nice. Then of course, obviously we've got the loadout, like I said, lots of blast effects. We've got kind of like rip out blast effects. We've got like explosions in the ground. We've got the kind of back of the missile blast effects that connect, to the missile and to the drone. And you've got his helmet, pistol, and kind of like remote as well, which is pretty dope. Now, he's number 74, and he has his code, which will get you nowhere still. Still wondering when they're going to do that. Like we've got I think there's a roundtable coming up with the Hasbro team, and we're hopefully getting a kind of standalone interview with them as well, with Emily and Lenny. So hopefully we can ask them what's happening with the website. And then also, obviously, because we want to know, because then we've got his attributes down the bottom here. They're so tiny now, though, on the side. This is where you've got to see them on the back. And I would bring it up and have a look, but they're pretty straightforward, aren't they? We've got bomb, missile, kind of a Spartan helmet with a line through it. And we've got a kind of forge, kind of like blacksmith kind of thing going on there, anvil and hammer. Anyway, that's cool. And on the back, we've got the entire loadout there. Look. And it has to be a box this big, just so you can see everything. It's nuts. They call out the hideously disfigured face of Scrap Iron, the blast effects coming out of the drone, and his little grenades on his secondary, which is an interesting call out, I guess. But then again, yeah, that's a note of interest, I imagine. The top of the box there, G.I. Joe Classified Series, with that nice kind of like design, that kind of blue-black kind of almost like kind of, I don't know how you describe it, just like an interesting pattern. And legal gumph, we don't care, do we? Do we care? That's the bottom. Right, let's get into it. Finally. Let's have a look what we're saying in the comments. Good morning, all. Scrap Aaron lol. Absolutely. 2 p.m. here, says Bjorn Koopman. Bjorn, where are you exactly again? Let us know. That's interesting. I should be able to work it out, but I can't. Or at least get the strip of time, the area that you could be in. Good morning, Russell. It's review time. Yes, it is. I got my Scrap Iron yesterday. All my pre-orders came in from GameStop, Shipwreck Bazooka, Rock and Roll, and Copperhead. Only expected for September in Canada. That's awesome, Death Valley Machine. My Bazooka is on his way finally. Didn't think I'd ever get the standard issue Bazooka because I don't know. It just seemed to like be in the it was delivered from Pulse, wasn't it, in the UK, and then just didn't seem to be anywhere following that. Okay, so simple lid removal, and then boop. Now this is a much chunkier box, a little bit bent on my one. I'm not fussed, honestly, because these are they're not as interesting, I don't think, as the other ones. I preferred that blue version. Anyway, this one again, handle on the bottom. Therefore, this would be upside down. I don't get it. If that's the handle's on the top, I don't understand that. I need to ask that question, don't I? I definitely need to ask that question. Niximus Prime says the remote always gives me Sega Game Gear with the TV attachment vibes. Love it. Oh yeah, totally. He's a high-level engineer for Destro's Mars Industries. He certainly is. Belgium, Bjorn. Okay, awesome. I should have known that because we have discussed that in the past, haven't we? So apologies, Bjorn. But yes, welcome from all the way from Belgium. I've been to Belgium many times. I do like the place, really, very much so. And any intel from that Storm Shadow from the art box? There's a much clearer view of it now on the image, and when you zoom in, it just looks like the regular Storm Shadow. Like where it looks like he's got a black mask, it's just because the hood's covered over. You can see a little bit of the bottom of his chin, and then it's like a black space between the bottom of the chin and the rest of the space. So I think it's just a regular Storm Shadow. There's no tattoos on the arms. He does have long sleeve, or t-shirt sleeves, which is interesting. Obviously, the retro doesn't have that, but neither does the website version. So I think it's kind of like almost like a artistic interpretation of a mixture of Snake Eyes kind of styles. Honestly, I don't think it's anything specific, but you never know. You never blooming know. Sharkeyser says, Chris, what was that eel Mighty Boosh reference you made in your last video? I've been trying to remember it all day. It's actually BOOSH, just in case you're searching for it. Yeah, there's a comedy duo in the UK, Noel Fielding, and I forget the other guy's name. I feel terrible for that. Basically, they Howard. Basically, they play this funny, like weird friends who like make music, and it's bonkers. It's a bonkers comedy that makes no sense, and you really have to have a certain sense of humor to get it. But it's eels up inside you, finding an entrance where they can. Eels. That's what I was saying before. And it is basically this Cockney villain with a polo for an eye. It's bonkers. I'm not even going to try and describe it because I sound like a crazy person. Right. There are not one, but 2 bags in this one, and they're both heavy as heck. I've emptied one out, and we'll go through that first bag first, obviously. Let's just put that in there again. Whoa there, Nelly. These look like sweets. These look like little sweets you can eat, little candies. So yeah, we've got the explosion and kind of like the smoke, kind of look at that bobbly smoke explosion-y thing going on there, which is pretty dope. Nice. Interesting. And then we've got the kind of rip it burn out sort of, kind of effect as well. So you could put the wheel like on this side and it's like screeching out and causing all that. Imagine causing that much heat ripping out. Imagine that. Oh, you saw them in Melbourne years ago when they first formed. That's awesome. I would love to see. The live show is hilarious. That's probably on YouTube actually, but you can probably stream it as well somewhere. Yeah, we should be finding out what the next tier for the Dragonfly is this morning. So I'll be keeping an eye on it. And if they reveal it while I'm on the show, obviously let me know in the comments so I can talk about it quickly. But what we'll do is we'll finish this in unboxing, and then I'll do another live news burst for that. Anyway, pistol, very nice detail, very interesting design as well. Obviously, I think is this based on his pistol or a real pistol or both? I mean, it does look like a real. I recognize that style of pistol definitely in real life. So I wonder if it was based on a real pistol, and it does look like one. It's very cool. I like that. Nice. And then, of course, we've got these 2 laser-guided missiles with a Z or a Z, and then the XO4 on there too, which is synonymous with, I think it's the previous one, isn't it? Isn't it got that designation on the one that he comes with? I can't remember. I should have got that up as reference so I could kind of like double check. He's got his. Is that an auto Glock? Says Figure 6 back. Possibly. We've got the. This is actually a really nice helmet. There's a lot of actually going on here. So you've got obviously all the nice design, all the nice little kind of flourishes and touches and the lines and seams and everything. But then you've got like this really nice kind of shiny gloss black visor as well, which looks really nice. And obviously there's that kind of like stylized Cobra logo, very much like the one on the original figure. Digital Diarrhea says, Chris, I didn't know it was you. Nice one. Cool helmet it is, isn't it? And then we've got this wonderful little remote with a little kind of readout on it. I'll have a look at that properly in a second, but it's a lovely tempo, like that red and kind of like shiny kind of color. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. You can really see it nicely there. That's dope. Anyway, yeah, all the controls in it, and then the 2 little antenna, which don't move, and they're kind of in that kind of like angled position. So when he holds it, they're kind of upright, like so. when I hold it. Imagine if that was the size of the remote for an actual real one. There's a little bit of detail on the back, but not a great deal. Just like a little kind of panel for, putting the batteries in. Right, and then we've got another bag. So this is going to have, I imagine, the remaining blast effects, which are 2 big old explosions and the 2 kind of back-end missile explosions. These blast effects are actually quite cool. I like these. When you get the same ones all the time, it's a little bit like, okay. But then when you get like some new stuff, and these are massive. These really are huge. Look at that. It's a right honking beast of an explosion, that is. Look at that. Pick your nose with it. Stick it up your whatever. Look at that. Awesome. It's like a crown of explosion. And again, with the little kind of white creamy bubble aspect going on as well. This one is similar but not the same. It's got a smaller little niblet at the bottom, little gribble, and it's taller. It's actually much taller than the other one. And it's got, like, I love how the kind of thing wraps around like a snake. That's really cool. I like these. Lots of fun going on, more fun explosions. And finally, in the bag, of course, we're not finished. I'm not just showing the accessories. That's just the first part of this enthralling unboxing video that everybody loves. I came into niblets, says Jeremy Kimblin. Yeah, I can't help myself. Looks like a DJI drone remote, says Christopher Black. Christoph Black, sorry. Christoph. Agent Chuckles, that helmet must be a little rank. He hasn't removed it in close to 40 years. Good point. Kitty said, now both Firefly and Scrap Iron have drones. Yeah. Wonder if Sci-Fi Mainframe will ever be made with drones. I would imagine you'd probably get something with them. That looks like it would hurt to step on. Yes. Although it is squid. I should have shown you the squidginess of it. They are squidgy. There's a squidginess to it, and almost like a separation with that bit that kind of curls round. Can you see that? It kind of is. It's connected at the bottom, but it's like separate from the rest of the explosion, which is kind of cool. These remind me of Ghostbusters. I don't know. I don't know. Probably just from like the vintage Ghostbusters. Like this reminds me of Ghostbusters because of the ghosts used to be kind of like made in this kind of translucent kind of plastic, kind of a little squidgy, not completely squidgy, but like a little hard but squidgy at the same time. A little bit of give in them. That's what it reminds me of. So we've got one blast effect missile kind of trail and another one there. Excuse me. And these are like ice creams or like lollipops or something. It's so crazy. I just want to eat these. Is that wrong to want to eat this stuff? Probably. I don't eat this stuff, guys. That's what I should be saying, isn't it? I should be kind of like telling people, maybe don't put this stuff in your mouth. Maybe don't do that. Right, here we go. This is what we're here for. This is what we've come to see, I imagine. I'm not going to taste them, Jeremy, so I'm not going to try. Here we go. Oh, right. I should have done the is he asleep or is he awake thing, but he's kind of leaning a little bit, his head. He's like, oh, I might go to sleep. But you've got the massive drone in there, and you've got Scrap Iron as well. Look at that. That's actually a pretty gnarly head sculpt. Looks awesome. Secondary looks dope. Actually, I tell you what, this Scrap Iron is a proper sleeper hit in terms of the actual figure. Obviously, comes with loads of cool stuff. So he's immediately kind of like a little bit extra and a little bit cool. But that is a proper good figure from what I'm seeing so far. And then we've got the drone as well in there. Let's bust it all out. We'll start with the drone, and we'll get to Scrap Iron last because that's how I want to do it. And if you have any issues with that, I'm sorry. Okay, so the first part of the drone, the top piece, you can see the nice little detailing on there, and the little kind of all the design and the little cuts and the rivets and everything, and the lines and everything, and then the tampos. There's the Mars logo, Ant Tank 002. There's a little bit of deco in there as well, that little silver bit inside there. Oh, this is interesting. Piezoelectric serial number 0904197200 Cobra. That's cool. Piezoelectric. I wonder if we'll see more about piezoelectric as the narrative moves along. We've got some nice detailing on the back, kind of like that kind of grey kind of grate with the Cobra logo there and the kind of red brake lights on the back, which is kind of cool. And then you've got the guidance system, I guess, at the front, like the kind of camera and like other little, yeah, I guess that's just an iPhone camera that just does all the guidance system. About the same, isn't it? About the same. And obviously the ports to put the blast effects on the missiles as well. I'm actually going to just go ahead and do that now, just for lols. It goes in there so smooth and locks in there, lovely stuff. And then you got the little port on the missile there, and you can just pop that into the back there, and voila, that's cool. And obviously the longer one does exactly the same, ports in nice and tight. Just think, yeah, like there you go. Let me just wiggle that around. So we've got that one in there as well, and then pop that on too. They go in really nicely. It's funny, like I would say actually, like the laser guided is written the same on both sides, so they're exactly the same missile. I wonder if it would have been cool to have it written on the other side of the other missile, so you could see it on both sides. But that's pretty cool, still, isn't it? It's awesome. Look at that. Anyway, that's just the top part. I've got to put its leggies on, haven't I? Now, we knew about the fact that this was going to be. I don't know that reference either, Shark Eyes. That's what I'm saying with piezoelectric. I wonder if that's going to be some sort of narrative thing that kind of crops up in the future with Classified, or if it's something from the comic, or it's something from the cartoon that I can't recall. It's definitely something I haven't heard before, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist in the universe already. If anyone in the comments knows, let us know. Give us a shout. Give us a heads up. I will say, and this is probably for a good reason, but these usually are just twisted on and they're really easy to pull out. They're tied this time, so there's a little bit more wibbling. It's not difficult, and it's not a great deal of wibbling, but just want you to be aware it's not as easy as other ties in the past where we've just like untwisted them and squidged them out. So there we go. It's all in one piece, and it's got like this kind of like a dual articulated like kind of lower sections, and I think that's it. Yeah, I think I was kind of thinking maybe the treads moved around a bit, but no, it's all one piece. So it's just that's the articulation there on that ball joint kind of thing there, which locks into there, and I imagine it is that way around, because if you do it that way around, that's going to happen. That looks right as well. Let's have a look at the box quickly. Obviously, you can put it whatever way you want, but it looks like it is. Yeah, it looks like I had it right the first time. So on the box, it's showing that way around. So the shorter, stumpier kind of section of wheels at the back, and the longer, thinner section of wheels at the front. And again, you're going to be putting it on and turning it around and doing all sorts anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Plus, I think those kind of like red kind of deco things in there, possibly fronts, but then they could be backs, because then you've got red brake lights all over the place. I don't know. Either way, it looks pretty dope. And obviously, you're going to be spinning it around and moving it around. I kind of like that just as a kind of like, you know, what's the word? A kind of like balance in terms of like its silhouette. Like when you do it that way around, it obviously sticks out the back a lot. So I would say that, yeah, that's probably right. And you know, if you want a like standard chilled out display scenario, but it goes in there nicely, and this is awesome. This is so solid and cool. I love it. And then you can have him running, trying to catch up. Amazing. Does this drone run on Energon? Good question. Look, people from the interwebs are telling me what piezoelectricity is. Process of using crystals to convert mechanical energy into electrical energy or vice versa. And the G.I. Joe connection is in the 2-part episode Captives of Cobra, says Ryan Daly. So is that... I don't even remember them talking about piezoelectricity in that. And I've watched that episode recently. Obviously, there are crystals in it, and but that's brilliant. Thank you for that, guys. This is why I love having the team in here. I mean, I love that episode, that 2-parter. But thank you so much to the Figure Six Pack and to Ryan Daly for lots of information about piezoelectricity, and of course, which is on the side here, that's why I'm talking about it, piezoelectric, and also that it's related to Captives of Cobra. Thank you so much. Brilliant. Tripwire says Cobra was working on piezoelectric crystals. Thank you, Ryan. Brilliant. I do not recall that at all. I'm going to go back and watch that. But this thing is stunning, guys. Stunning. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it is that dark energon. And obviously they call it piezoelectric because that's what they're assuming it is. It's energy crystals, effectively, or electric crystals. So that is super fun. And like I said, thank you to Ryan and the Figure Six Pack for filling us in on that information. Had I known that was even on the trail, I don't think I've noticed that in any reviews and on the images. I just haven't noticed it. And obviously, if they've mentioned it in the kind of reveal on the live stream, then I usually miss that stuff because I'm frantically trying to take images and build slideshows for the live burst. The beautiful black and white artwork of Scrap Iron there in the tray. Really like that. Nice. Lovely stuff. Okay. Well, that's it then, isn't it? No, just kidding. We have got the figure to look at. And my goody gumdrops, is this a BA bad double? You know what I'm talking about. Figure. Absolutely superb. Right. Let's start with the wonderfully detailed head sculpt. You've got scars all over his face on that side. You've got that kind of like terrifying glare. You've got the kind of scar over the eye, which has probably taken an eye out. Yeah, that's probably not working. The eye, I mean. And then this really gruesome kind of like Total Recoil style face scar. I bet that is from Total Recall in terms of reference. The guy who's got that scar, and well, there's a lot of scars on the faces. Now, I will say that the knees are very, very tight. I am not even going to attempt to move the left one right now because I'm going to get some heat on that first. The almost like Serpentor vibes, knee stiffness. One of them goes at the top, but like I said, I'm not gonna attempt that because I'm getting resistance. So I'm gonna get some heat on that beauty. Better to be stiff than to be loose, what I say. Kitty said. Got the cool boot design there as well, which is pretty nice while we're down here looking at the knees. That secondary on the top here is squidgy and like flexible and everything, so shouldn't hinder too much in terms of articulation. Not that you're really like, not that he's like a ninja like level of articulation. Like you don't need him to be, you don't need him to be kind of like doing superhero landings and stuff like that, do you? He effectively holds a remote most of the time, but he is dope. He is amazing. Love this. This secondary is really, really cool. Got the grenades on it. You got the pouch right there, the buckles as well. Really nice detailing on it. You swing around, you've got the kind of straps or the elastic straps on the sides. It's just really cool. The belt and thigh secondary is separate as well. And that has this kind of like nondescript kind of like strap, nothing on it there. And on this side, you've got the holster for his pistol. So let's pop that in there. Let's get the OCD stuff out of the way. So let's give him all his gear. Let's put his helmet on. Helmet goes on securely and nicely. And he looks freaking awesome. I'm sorry, this is a great figure, guys. This is a great figure. And then we can pop his remote in his hand. I'm trying to get his thumb on one of the buttons. There we go. Done. I actually put his thumb over one of the buttons. So technically, the drone should be going nuts right now because it's pressed on that button. He looks great. This is a superb figure, by the way. I love the deco, the red and the blue, that kind of like dark blue as well. Just so nice. And going with the black helmet as well, with just the red Cobra kind of like pop on there with that kind of like stylized logo. Just phenomenal. I would love a well, Tripwire's coming, isn't he? So I was going to say I'd love like someone like Lightfoot to be his nemesis, but it's probably going to be Tripwire at this rate, and Tripwire's probably going to have something. You'd hope, wouldn't you, to kind of like deal with his. I mean, look at that fig. Isn't he great? Just stunning, and obviously this beauty as well. This is like crazy amounts of things for a figure. This is perfect. Literally my only gripe, and it's not really a gripe because I'll deal with it later when I put some heat on it, is that knee joint. Because I don't want to break anything. So, but again, these figures, this wave is so solid, so solid. It's amazing, and this drone is nuts. I don't want to take those blast effects out because I think it looks cool. I'm going to see how the old burnout one looks like. There you go. While it's firing missiles. How dangerous is that? It's like I'm just going to punch it while I'm firing missiles. That works, doesn't it? You'd probably need this to be stationary while it fired its missiles, I would imagine. And then you've got all these beauties as well to kind of like fill out your, like I said, fill out your kind of dioramas and stuff. These don't even have to be in relation to this, like they can be just for explosions around, just for, oh, there's an explosion with all my figures, like, getting, or like you could have the explosion next to a figure kind of like, flying sideways like a Cobra Trooper or a Steel Corps when they finally arrive or come out. We've only seen them in digital renders and in product shots. I do wonder when we're going to see that as a pre-order. You'd hope this month, wouldn't you? But I don't know. I'm not sure if we will. We might see some sort of what do you call it? Steel Core reveal with the Dragonfly, because obviously the silhouettes are very Steel Corey. I'm not sure if it's Steel Corey. It's something to call Corey from now on. Very like general silhouettes. Maybe they're just kind of like placeholders, but you never know. I would love Lenny to supersize Lightfoot's drone if they ever did Lightfoot. That would be so good. Does Scrap Iron train in MMA? Says the Figure 6 pack. Doesn't need to. He's got a bloody great big anti-armor drone. Top 3 head sculpt, absolutely. Who else agrees with me about Total Recall in terms of his head, his unmasked head? I can't. That's great shot, by the way, Ryan, for finding out that Tripwire says piezo electricity in Bloomin' Captors of the Cobra, because I do not remember that. In actual fact, someone just shouted it's Glenda. It better, if it is, I will go nuts if they have revealed it already. Oh my god, they have!
Hello, G.I. Joe fans. I am so excited to be here with you today because amazing news. If for some reason you have not heard, we just unlocked Tier 1 on Operation Dragonfly. Our current G.I. Joe Classified series has lapsed. So that's right. So now, not only do you get the Dragonfly XH1, which is over 33 inches long.
I've got a lot of work to do. I'm just going to share this while it's there.
XH1, which is over 33 inches long. Absolutely wild. It's Stan. Wild build.
I'm so excited.
all of that amazing stuff in our base offering. That's right. Now, every Dragonfly that you order also comes with Night Force Ripcord.
Cool.
In 6-inch scale for the very first time, in full packaging with his own number in the classified.
Obviously.
I'm stoked. I hope that you are stoked.
We're stoked. I'm stoked.
I can't wait to get these in my house next year. So while we're here talking, we thought that you might be excited to hear what our new Tier 2 offering is.
Here it is.
So when we hit 16,000 backers before July 17th,
come on,
11:59 p.m. Eastern Time, that's right,
Glenda, Jane Mulligan.
For the very first time. So you know that we love a good callback to previous HasLabs. So if you remember, what we did for our Sky Striker HasLab was Scarlet in Ace's flight suit.
Fantastic. That's wicked. Okay. Right. I will obviously we'll be doing the news burst reaction to that afterwards. But that's very, very cool. And very I mean, that's one we mentioned a few times. We talked about this and speculated that it could be Glenda. And I will say right now, no clue. Had no clue that it was going to be that. So basically, for those that aren't aware of who Glenda is, and I'm sorry for hijacking this unboxing, this will only be a quick thing before we come back to Scrap Iron. We basically Glenda is a repaint of Scarlet that was released in Argentina, I want to say. And basically, it was effectively a different character. Now, since then, we've had kind of Scarlet as a pilot always kind of done in those kind of Glenda colors. But it's always been Scarlet Pilot kind of thing. So that's dope. One thing I will say as well is we know that a retro Scarlet is coming. So I wonder if this is the base body for that particular Scarlet, which is great. This is the most breaking news Chris has ever done. It is, isn't it? Anyway, I'll be following that. We'll do all that episode later. This is about Scrap Iron. I knew that was going to happen early. I didn't know it was going to happen 8:30. Blooming hell, guys, you're on it this morning. I'm trying to share it on. Okay, bear with me while I try and do some other things, because obviously I can't multitask for Dookie. But I can't. They haven't posted it on Twitter yet, so I've got to do that. This is the multitasking issue I have all the time. I'm just going to write Glenda for Tier 2. That's cool. I'm really happy that they're doing that, because what's funny is it's kind of like mimicking a little bit the Sky Striker. It's mimicking the Sky Striker kind of loadout in it. Night Force Ripcord, Pilot Scarlet. Effectively, we've got the same situation going on here. So I wonder if we'll get Wayne Ruthell. We'll get Wayne Ruthell as. To be honest, I'd be cool with that. I would be cool with that. And yeah, we are. Well, Jeffrey, we are getting a classic Scarlet. That's the point. We're getting a retro Scarlet. It's been leaked. Yada yada yada. That information. So Scarlet, Duke, and Cobra Commander are coming out retro carded. It'll be obviously a new Duke build, a new Scarlet build, and it looks very. I imagine, yeah, it's going to be that body, isn't it? It's going to be that body. Anyway, getting ahead of, definitely getting ahead of things. We'll be talking about this later. Anyway, Scrap Iron, phenomenal. This is the problem, isn't it? It's I want to enjoy these things that have just arrived, and I can't, because new things are happening constantly. But anyway, let's enjoy Scrap Iron for a few more minutes before I have to leave and do a news burst for the next tier, and I'll talk about it on there. But this is as close to perfection as you're going to get with a classified figure, in my opinion. I'm kind of glad I saved him to last, even though I did kind of expect Torpedo to be my favorite out of the wave, but I have been surprised by every figure. Shipwreck's awesome, Copperhead's awesome, Rock and Roll's so much better than I thought he was going to be in hand as well. But Scrap Iron and Torpedo are definitely my top tier from this wave, and obviously Scrap Iron probably edging it because of all the crazy stuff he comes with. And also, this is just such a satisfying figure in size, in heft, in design, in accessories. It's just awesome. So very, very excited for this one. Right. Okay. I am going then to call it. We still did 40 minutes, and I know 10 of it was probably talking about Glenda. But I'll be going live in a few moments when I get the slideshow set up and all that kind of chat. It takes a few minutes, but I'll be doing it live. So I'll see you guys in probably about 10. Thank you very much for joining. And I'm going to do this. Look, not even going to do the transition. I'm just going to flip my name up on the screen. That's so much easier, isn't it? I'm breaking the mold of what I usually do. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me this morning to look at the phenomenal Scrap Iron and his anti-armor or anti-armor drone. I've put all the bits in and everything because it's wicked. Lovely figure, stunning design, lots of crazy cool details, wicked little remote, helmet is dope, head sculpt is amazing, pistol's cool. The drone is out of this world. Like, it's just bonkers, massive, loads of cool attributes. And I should probably show you this as well. If we take the let's take these out, the blast effects, which go in really comfortably and definitely pour in there pretty strong too. You can actually put the missiles in as Normski, so it's just kind of hanging out and not actually firing anything. And they just sit in there like so. So that's cool as well. So you can just have it like normal, but I love the look of those blast effects, and there's just something very satisfying about them. I've got it on the angle there because it's just dope, but I love it. There's a personality to this thing, man. It's wicked. Okay, right then. I will see you guys in a few minutes. Have a great morning. Have a great few minutes. You know what to do at the end of all these episodes. After 3, 1, 2, 3. Full force. See you in a few seconds.
That's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, full force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on Twitter at The Full Force, liking the Facebook page facebook.com/The Full Force, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on either of those platforms with feedback and questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click on the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.